is it tough as an actor? Like, you still have to be Khalil, even though Khalil is essentially not at home anymore. Is it tough to kind of thread that needle and be like, no, I need to have something recognizable?
No, honestly, it's not because honestly, this season Khalil is dead. We're not even touching Khalil, And I was saying earlier when I found out that I was killing my mom, that was sort of the nail in the coffin of so I guess that's where the season's going. I guess we're not going to be having any type of Khalil, any signs of him. So it was that for me. That kind of set the tone for me for season 3 of Painkiller being relevant and Khalil being no more. So I don't feel like I hold too much of a line with Khalil right now.
Was it?
Do you miss Khalil?
That was a good question. Somebody asked me that earlier. No, I don't. The reason why is because, I guess in a sense I do, but I would say no because I want to explore as much of Painkiller as I can, and I want to be able to give him, the absolute due respect that he has without having to contend with Khalil, So as you see, I've been trying to lean into, he's intelligent, he's smart, he's brilliant. He has a number of different traits and qualities besides just being a weapon, But at the same time, it's been playing Painkiller in a simplistic but also sadistic way. Showing flashes of enjoyment when it comes to violence, So yeah, playing in that area, but also finding different area or different places to take him so that the character doesn't just bottom out,
Is it exciting to start a new season and practically have a new character to play in a way?
It's so great. It's so great, and especially a character that is actually doing the slapping around instead of just getting slapped around. That's been a dream come true. I mean, being a huge nerd and like a big kid, playing wrestle with my niece and nephews, and then being able to actually fight and wrestle with grown men. It's intense. It's a lot of fun. Being able to play with different weapons and learn different weapons. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a real treat.
Is there a confrontation you're looking forward to Painkiller having now that he's got?
Yeah, man. I'd say one against definitely Black Lightning. That's always a fun one. I definitely want to fight Tobias. I mean, I want a round 2 as Painkiller, not as Khalil. I want to take Tobias on. Like gloves off, no weapons. I don't need none of that. I just want to go full throttle on this guy. Obviously, I would have to say Agent Odell because the implication how he's linked to me killing my mom or Khalil's mom. That obviously would have to, mean that I would have to learn and deal with that of what I did. I think that's going to be a very dark battle if that were to come to play. But I would also say it'd be fun to fight Nafisa's character, Blackbird. She's through a tank at a helicopter. I mean, it's like that would be a fun one. Like I feel like we could have a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, I guess those are mine.
I had a question in my head, and then I got the tank hit. For Painkiller, actually, you've had, particularly in I think 102 or 302, you had the whole monologue introducing yourself as Painkiller.
Right. Yeah.
Now that's the kind of thing that can come off as really badass or really silly.
Yeah.
As an actor, like how much I thought it worked.
Okay, it worked.
Okay,
good.
But as an actor, how much of that time did you spend looking at that and going like, okay, how do I do this that I don't sound like Arnold and Batman and Robin?
That's so funny. Yeah. So for me doing, especially when I was listing off the different martial arts, what it really was boiling down to was me figuring out which ones do which ones cause different emotions within Painkiller. There's the ones that you can, just that are the ones that are the basics that you learn that are fun, and I'm talking from Painkillers perspective. But especially when you get into jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, Silat, those are the ones that that's real up close and personal. And it kind of reminded me of Heath Ledger's when he was talking to the detective in Dark Knight, and he was saying, in a sense, I know your friends better than you know yours. So I wanted to have a dash of that, where it's like when you're doing a certain fighting style, it takes you a lot closer. It gets you right into your victim or your praise. You're right there with him, so you really it's no distance shooting or anything. No, it's like an up close one. And so my aspect of that, my I guess my perspective for Painkiller in that sense was, which ones does he really like? Which ones bring him actual joy? And so that sort of allowed me to start somewhere, find colors within different ones, and then while playing in that, then seeing, and these are the ones that I really, really like. And what Benny did, which was great, was cutting in between, and showing you what the different styles were. That just added another layer to it as well, So it was just a matter of taking my time and enjoying it. If that answers the question.
I kind of feel like too, obviously we see a second and a half of each style.
Right.
I assume you had to learn a kata's worth, so that way they have something to cut.
Oh yeah, so we did that whole thing I learned that about a week and a half. There were 10 different martial arts. For each of the 10 different forms, we had about 3 different choreographed fights within just each of those. We ended up shooting, we had to cut certain ones down because we only filmed that within 2 hours. But I had been rehearsing with the guys for about a week and a half. So that day, because that was the same day that we filmed the workout scene. And fun fact, I was burning myself out on that workout scene with Bill. But they said, all right, we got 2 hours, we got to shoot this. And we were all quick though, man. I mean, it was, everybody knew what we were doing. It was a dance, it was fun. It kind of reminded me, so I did Lion King back over at the Pantages when I was 10 and back in 2000 and 2001. And it just took me back to that, because when you're on stage, there's no cut, redo. It's just boom, 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 boom. You got to do theatrical workers. I mean, Chantel, she's performing in Broadway. Shout out to her. She's killing it. I'm so happy for her. But yeah, when you're on stage, there's no cut, So we kind of all went into this as listen, we want to try and give them one shots. We want to do this. We've been practicing it. By the end of that day, I was drenched. I was just done because I'm having fun. I wanted to do it. And Nick Pelikai, he's my stunt double, and I'm so grateful for him. He lets me do as much as I want to do. But at the same time, he is one of the reasons why I'm able to do what I can do, because he's working with me. We're working over the weekends, whatever. We're just committed to it, committed to the show. So yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Will we have more interactions between Painkiller and Jennifer in the future?
Can I say anything about that? I don't know. I haven't read that far. Stay tuned. That's what I should have led with, right? Yeah, stay tuned.
On a similar note, though, was it hard to do Comic-Con press rooms this summer, not being able to reveal what is up with Painkiller?
Yeah, it's funny. As I'll joke about it, but shout out first of all to him, Tom Holland. But I watched those interviews. I watched him, and I was just like, "Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just learn." I mean, so it was hard. So I kind of sympathized for him because I know the guy was super excited. So yeah, I mean, I would have to say it was, it wasn't so hard. I guess I was just more caught up in the joy of actually being at Comic-Con and then being able to, be there for the first time. That I just, I did what my dad always would tell me before a baseball game: just enjoy it and don't worry too much. And so it was a joy.
So, considering where we are in the season,
Right.
does Painkiller really care all that much about the situation, or is it just, this is an excuse for me to do what I can do?
Well, at the beginning of it, Painkiller, I think his mentality is, I have a mission, I'm gonna solve it. I'm gonna have a mission, I have to solve it. Where he is right now, we're at 304, correct?
Yeah.
He's still just doing his job, doing a mission. Later on, maybe we'll see, him, with a little bit of pushback against Odell. Maybe we'll see him start realizing that he is the smartest person in the room. I like that because that allows him to have more of a character, more. He can be more original in that sense, and he's not just controlled, and he starts to have his own voice. So that's another thing that you guys stay tuned for.
Now, obviously, China is a terrific talent, and you guys have great chemistry. But is it freeing a little bit to be playing a version of this character that isn't completely defined by that one relationship?
It's. I would say I never really felt trapped with it. I always felt like with China or with Jin and Khalil, their relationship was young love, but both are trying to find themselves in this crazy world. It kind of also is like Romeo and Juliet. Both of them were realizing that they had different powers. So for the first, I guess, 2 seasons. Well, definitely the first season, because I had a lot of scenes with her in the first season. The second season, majority of the beginning of the season was with Tobias, because that's who I was under rule, and he was the one that was acting as the parental figure, the father figure in my life at that time. So now season 3, I would say it kind of goes back to what you said earlier about playing a completely different character. I never really thought of him or Khalil or Painkiller being dependent on Jennifer. I always thought it was like he's on his own journey, but he wants to do this journey with Jennifer as well. And Jennifer's on her journey as well, and she wanted to do that journey with me. And that, not being dependent on each other, but depending on each other because we find strength within one another. That was sort of the beauty of the two of us, and now we're seeing, now that we're separate, how both of us are operating. So it is freeing, I guess, to answer your question in a sense, but at the same time, it's I think it's more so freeing for the audience, because they're probably perceiving it as the two characters, the lovebirds, separate now. And now we can track their journeys a little bit clearer without any other one defining it. So maybe it's more freeing for you.
Having had
Last question.
an interest in comic books, what was your reaction when you saw this picture of Chris?
I loved it. I was so well. The whole mentality was just blown. My mind was blown when I found out that we actually were going to be a part of the Crisis. And Chris, he's a nerd too, and so Chris is a nerd too. So he, he was happy. We were just talking about you.
What you doing
We were
up
just
in
talking
here?
about
Oh,
you,
you were talking about me?
Yeah, it was talking about how wonderful you are.
Oh, okay. I was about to say better
Yeah.
than good stuff.
Oh, of course.
This is my next interview, so I'm watching you.
No, but I was so happy because Crest was extremely excited about it too. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.